And now, for something completely depressing. Thanks to Sam McCain for the link. Good on ya. This was in the New York Times. What is today? 2 days ago. Texas conservatives win curriculum change. Who gives a shit? I give a shit. After 3 days of turbulent meetings, the Texas Board of Education on Friday approved a social studies curriculum that will put a conservative stamp on history and economics textbooks, stressing the superiority of American capitalism, questioning the Founding Fathers' commitment to a purely secular government, and presenting Republican political philosophies in a more positive light. The vote was 10-5 along party lines, with all the Republicans on the board voting for it. The board, whose members are elected, has influence beyond Texas because the state is one of the largest buyers of textbooks. In the digital age, however, that influence has diminished as technological advances have made it possible for publishers to tailor books to individual states. In recent years, board members have been locked in an ideological battle between a bloc of conservatives who question Darwin's theory of evolution and believe the Founding Fathers were guided by Christian principles, and a handful of Democrats and moderate Republicans who have fought to preserve the teaching of Darwinism and the separation of church and state. Since January, Republicans on the board have passed more than 100 amendments to the 120-page curriculum standards affecting history, sociology, and economics courses from elementary to high school. The standards were proposed by a panel of teachers. "We are adding balance," said Dr. Don McElroy, the leader of the conservative faction on the board, after the vote. "History has already been skewed. Academia is skewed too far to the left." Battles over what to put in science and history books have taken place for years in the 20 states where state boards must adopt textbooks, most notably in California and Texas, but rarely in recent history has a group of conservative board members left such a mark on a social studies curriculum. Efforts by Hispanic board members to include more Latino figures as role models for the state's large Hispanic population were consistently defeated, prompting one member, Mary Helen Berlanga, to storm out of a meeting late Thursday night saying, "They can just pretend this is a white America and Hispanics don't exist." People, if you live in Texas and you're bilingual, you can speak English and Spanish, you get paid more. But they're not going to allow more Latino figures in the history books? Please. The curriculum standards will now be published in a state register, opening them up for 30 days of public comment. A final vote will be taken in May, but given the Republican dominance of the board, it is unlikely that many changes will be made. The standards, reviewed every decade, serve as a template for textbook publishers who must come before the board next year with drafts of their books. The board's makeup will have changed by then because Dr. McElroy lost in a primary this month to a more moderate Republican, and two others, one Democrat and one conservative Republican, announced they were not seeking re-election. Why do I care? Because my family lives here. I've got a niece and a nephew. One of them's already in school. The other one's too young. And they're going to be learning this shit. And they're going to be thinking this is the truth. And that's not right. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrific. I don't understand why do Republicans have so much claim over how we interpret history? Nobody likes atheists to interpret the Bible. But you want Bible thumpers to interpret history? And you're going to leave out everything important and you're not going to show both sides? Times like these, I would love to fucking smoke.